and Socrates. The Romans had a republic, an indirect democracy. Their written code applied to all from sea to shining sea. The Hebrews gave us tablets that help democracy. From there we get our ethics and our morality. And Jesus, we know him well. He taught us that we're all equal. King Johnny and the nobles signed the Magna Carta. This little document limited the king's power. The Glorious Revolution was a turning point. It changed the Constitution and who it will appoint. Power now had a limit, nobody could erase it, and all the English monarchs now just had to face it. Oz expressed his views in a book called Leviathan. Without absolute monarchy, man would war with every man. John Locke had a different, positive view of human nature. He said people could learn and improve on their behavior. According to me, all people are born free with 3 natural rights: liberty, life, and property. Montesquieu taught power should be separated. 3 branches of government is what he created. These ideas of enlightenment led to American Revolution, who gave us the Declaration and the damn good Constitution. Unlike in France in 1789, the Third Estate began to hate and then began to whine. With all things said, the king lost his head. They settled for dictatorship instead. Maximilian Robespierre then brought the pain. Heads were rolling left and right, the terror he would reign. Napoleon would bring control to this war-torn nation. But when he tried to dominate, he unleashed a new creation, especially in Germany and Italy as well. The ideas of nationalism soon began to swell. Napoleon came to an end when he fought Waterloo. He left France in defeat. He felt like such a fool. The Congress of Vienna tried to satisfy all the greedy monarchs Napoleon had defied. And it's another boring day in world history. What does all this democracy stuff have to do with me? Mr. Rodriguez just tells us we will see. See, that's a part you can see. Industrial Revolution was a time to invent. Change was happening very fast. Things came and then they went. People working day and night, children forced to work, no play, long hours, no safety rules, and all for little pay. No rest, not one right. People needed a union to fight. When cities grew fast, problems would arise. Don't walk in the alleys at night, you might find a surprise. Adam Smith supported ideas of capitalism and laissez-faire. Government should stay out of business and mind their own affairs. The Communist Manifesto was written by a man named Marx. It criticized capitalism, revolutions it sparked. The need for more resources led to the colonies. In Africa, the Europeans brought the people to their knees. It's another boring day in world history. What does all this industrial stuff have to do with me? Mr. Rodriguez just tells us we will see. There was tension in the world, the rise of militarism. Europeans fighting alliances because of imperialism. They assassinated Franz Ferdinand in June of 1914. It would mark the start of the greatest war the world had ever seen. The Great War was very bloody. It wasn't very fun. Trench warfare on the Western Front due to the machine gun. Germany would lose. involved Lusitania sinks and burns. The Russian Revolution, how did it get started? In Petrograd, the hungry people went out and they rioted. After the war, the Allies planned to meet just outside of Paris, tried to establish a peace. Paris peace was held at the Palace of Versailles to punish Germany. France and Britain sure would try. Woodrow Wilson showed up with his 14 points, called for self-determination and a league for all to join. A compromise was reached in June of 1919, blamed all the war on Germany, took away her territory. Russia was not invited, she lost a lot of land. The Allies didn't want to give the communists a hand, and it's another boring day in world history. What does all this great war stuff have to do with me? Mr. Rodriguez just tells us we will see. And that was just one semester. After the war came the age of totalitarians. One had lust for power for all the Aryans. Hitler was a Fuhrer, wanted to kill all the Jews. This little man went crazy off the cuckoo's nest he flew. Stalin was a man of steel, ruled with an iron fist. Censors fighting killed, I think you get the gist. Mussolini was in Bush and promised to rescue Italy. He was anti-communist and friend of the economy. Japan was ruled by generals who wanted to control the areas around Asia, but militarism took its toll. The last dictator I'll talk about was a guy named Mao Zedong. He was a red communist who sent Chiang Kai-shek to Taiwan. The dictators took action. Japan invaded the Chinese. When Hitler broke the treaty, Chamberlain appeased. In 1939, Hitler invades the Poles. World War II has started. Dig into your holes. December 7, 1942. We'll live in infamy. Japan attacked Hawaii to disable their navy. Some say it was a sneak attack. I don't know, don't ask me. Some say the US got revenge when they bombed Nagasaki. In the end, the Allies won. They meant to talk at Yalta. Some say the Cold War started here, but it's nobody's fault. And it's another boring day in world history. What does all this World War II stuff have to do with me? Mr. Rodriguez just tells us we will see. Okay, you guys gotta sing on the next verse at the end, or else I'll make you write an essay. The Marshall Plan sent money after World War II to rebuild war-torn nations, Japan and Germany too. The Truman Doctrine stated, we'll help stop the spread of communism around the world by giving weapons and bread. It was part of a new policy for the US of A. Containment of communism, don't let it come our way. The Cold War almost led to all-out nuclear war, when Soviet missiles in Cuba came closer to our shores. To keep the nuclear bullies from blowing each to smithereens, the United Nations was created and reason tried to bring. And it's another boring day in world history. What does all this Cold War stuff have to do with me? Mr. Rodriguez just tells us we will see. And it's another boring day in world history. What does all this history stuff have to do with me? Mr. Rodriguez just tells us that one day we will see when the actions we take today, one day